Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 2007 release by Character Options from their Doctor Who series of 12-inch action figures. Now these action figures were all based on characters obviously from the new series of Doctor Who, which returned to our screens in 2005 as Christopher Eccleston as a Doctor for one season before David Tennent took over for 5 years. This particular figure we are looking at today is of the Ood. Now the Ood is kind of like a slave race, if you like, as we saw them in their first appearance, and throughout the Doctor Who adventures that we've seen them in, they've progressed rapidly throughout the 10 years to now quite an advanced civilization. Their first appearance was in the 2006 double episode, The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, where they met the Doctor for the first time, which was as portrayed by David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. And then, of course, Planet of the Ood, which was an episode basically on their home planet, again with David Tennant as the Doctor. And there was an Ood that made an appearance in the final episode of the 10th Doctor before he regenerated, and that was the end of time. They also made an appearance in the Doctor's Wife, and there was a couple of appearances in Flux in the episode Survivors of the Flux and the Vanquishers, and there was a few cameo appearances which they appeared in Waters of Mars and The Magician's Apprentice, Face the Raven and Revolution of the Daleks. And they appeared in a couple of the mini episodes, which is Death is the Only Answer and Pond Life. Anyway, this is the figure in front of us, and I've got to say these figures are absolutely out of this world. So anyway, this is the box it comes in. It says includes magnetic translation orb device, and there you can see an image of the Ood as he appeared in the 2006 episode The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. And it says fully poseable action figure, 14 points of articulation, and it says Ood Doctor Who, and you've got the character logo on the bottom right hand corner. Okay, that's the front of the box, and if we just turn the box around to the back now, I'm just going to move the box slightly forward a little bit because we're getting a little bit of reflection, so I'm just going to dim the lights on there so we don't get too much of a glare. And I'm going to, and that's a little bit darker, but just until we've read this top bit, and then we put them back on again. So this is Doctor Who. Ood. Rose finds herself further away from home than ever before, on a desolate world in the orbit of a black hole. Trapped with an Earth expedition and the mysterious Ood, the time travellers face an even greater danger as something ancient beneath the planet's surface begins to awake. As Rose battles the murderous Ood, the Doctor finds his every belief being challenged to the core as the pit beckons. With the planet threatening to fall into a black hole, the Doctor must make the ultimate sacrifice. But can he save the entire universe from the beast? And it says includes magnetic translation orb device. And there you can see an image of the Ood as they appeared in the Impossible Planet, or the Satan Pit. And at the bottom you've got the image of the TARDIS flying through the vortex. It says contents, one 30cm Ood action figure, manufactured and distributed by Character Options Limited, and you've got all their details there, and you've got their web address there. It says item 12-inch Ood action figure, item number 02325, age grade 5 years and above, and you've got the barcode and the reference number and all the copyright information at the very bottom with the hologram sticker and the BBC logo. Okay, that is the back of the box. What I think I'd like to do now, so I don't want to get too much glare on the image, so I'm going to open the box, I'm going to take the figure out, and we're going to have a look at the figure outside of the box. Okay, so I've removed the Ood from the outer box. I'm still getting a little bit of reflection from the light, unfortunately, and that's due because of the way the lights are and the fact that he's still on the plastic. I can't remove him from that because if I turn him around you can see that he's all strapped in at the back with tape across there, which is all holding him in and holding him on the in position. So if I have to destroy the back of that to take it off, and I don't want to do that. So we're just going to have to put up with that light reflection for the moment. But let's zoom in on the figure itself and let's have a look at his facial features, and I would say that is absolutely amazing. The figure detailing is just absolutely incredible. As with all of these 12-inch figures, for me they were the best figures that Doctor Who has ever produced. The detailing on them, the fabric clothing, the articulation was just the best. Now you can see the orb is speech orb or communication orb that is held in the corner, just in the top section here, and it links into his speech mouth, or whatever you like to call that. And if you can see his hand there, his hand is open so that he can actually hold that orb, and his hand is a nice soft pliable rubber so that he can hold it without risk of dropping it or what have you. So it's they've thought of everything with these figures, and both hands are nice soft pliable rubber as well, so he could perhaps hold anything that you put into his hand. Really nice detailed figure, and the clothing is exactly what you saw the Ood wearing in the Impossible Planet and the Satan bit. And it's exactly as that. Well, they were all wearing the same thing. All the Oods wore the same and looked exactly the same, didn't they, from what I can remember of the episode. And they were all in this grey suit, if you like. Even when they were on their home world, the planet of the Ood, it was still, most of them were still dressed in this, like overalls, if you like, as they were a slave race, susceptible to the will of others, apparently, as it was put in the TV series. But anyway, fantastic detailing. The whole thing is just incredible. A lovely backdrop there as well for you to display your figure on. If it was me, I'd take him out of the plastic, but I would leave him displayed in this backdrop because I think it looks fantastic. So let's measure him. Well, that's exactly 30 centimeters, which is 12 inches, exactly what it says on the tin. Let's measure him across. So we're looking at 11 centimeters from one end to the other. And if we measure the depth, we are looking at about 3 centimeters. No, we're going to have to measure further than that because his head is the widest point, and that is 5 centimeters. So he is 5 centimeters at the widest point, which is across his head, across that beautiful head. And the design of the head is just incredible. Articulation wise, well, I'm not going to be able to check everything, but I do know it's 14 points because it says so on the box. So we know the head turns. We've got the shoulder joints, the arm joints, and the hands, which all move. So we know there's 3 points on each of the arms. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. So you've got 3 points on each leg, 3 points on each arm. You've got the waist and the head. So that's your articulation. Now, sadly, I can't. Oh, actually, we can open his jacket up a bit, but he's got a shirt on underneath. And you can see that he's still tied in at the back there, so I can't actually show you anything else. But there we are. I thought I could see his body, but we can't do that because he's got the undergarment on. So there we are. That's the Ood from the Doctor Who episodes Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. How well did this figure do? Did these figures do? These 12-inch figures do back in the day when they released 2006, 2007, I think they were. Well, yeah, I mean they've done okay. Don't get me wrong, they did do okay. I think I've got to say that I do think the 12-inch figures were geared more to the collectors rather than the children to play with. And I think that's because more effort and time and detailing have gone into these figures. Even with the backdrop as well that comes on the in the box. The added movement of the hands, the extra articulation I would say they're much more for collectors than kids. And also, don't forget to mention that, you know, the kids, they're a bit big for the kids to hold compared to the 5-inch figures, which would fit in their hands quite comfortably. But the big 12-inch figures, they would be a little bit, perhaps, big, and be a bit more bulky for them to play with. Not to mention also all the play sets that came in the Doctor Who range were all geared for the 5-inch figures. So the 12-inch figures were really there just to look good because they're big, I suppose, if you give them to a child. But yeah, I'm pretty certain they were more geared for the collectors. Also, the fact of the price difference. So if your child wanted a Doctor Who figure, you could buy 4 for the price of the big one. So, you know, it was a no-brainer, really. People didn't go out and buy the big figures specifically for their kids. I mean, if they were an uncle and aunt that thought the world of someone, then perhaps they would buy them the big figure, and it would go in their toy box and be played with a little bit, but they'd all end up going back to the smaller figures, as we did when we was kids. Or not so much us, but our kids did when they were young. But I mean, for us back in the 60s, we had the Action Man, which was probably the first action figure, and then the Migos, which were 6-inch figures. So which were better suited to us. And then also Kenner come out with the Star Wars 3 3/4-inch figures, which changed everything. And that was your standard figure for someone. Anyway, that's another story for another time. So, yes, they did quite well, but not as well as they could have done. Or I think that they hoped they would have done. And now let's move forward 17 years, 2024, which is where we are today. Do these figures come up very often on the platforms? Yeah, they still appear on the platforms. Not as often as they used to. They used to be on the platforms, very, very regularly. But nowadays, they appear from time to time. Don't get me wrong, you can pick a lot of these figures up on the platforms if you just want to buy them loose. Used, played with, missing bits, missing accessories, and what have you. If you want to buy the mint figures, and for us collectors, we all know it's about condition. So at the end of the day, condition has got to be right if you want to buy and put in your collection. So if you buy them on a platform, I say it over and over again, be very vigilant at what you are ordering, because a lot of the platforms use stock photographs, and they might be showing you one like this in a box, but what you're actually ordering, if you read the description of the used product that you're clicking on, you'll probably find it's a loose figure, or it could be missing bits and pieces, or what have you, and you'll end up with something that turns up that you wasn't expecting. So be very vigilant. Make sure you click on the use button, read the condition report, and also read or view the images of that particular item that you are buying, rather than end up being disappointed. Or alternatively, you can come to us at Midas Touch and forget all that rigmarole. It's so much easier ordering from us direct. We ship the same day, and we offer lower prices on our website than what we do on the platforms. So it's always worth your while to come to the website direct. And this particular figure is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items, and many other vintage toys, games, and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long-lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful 12-inch Ood action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.